Welcome to Gold Derby. I'm senior editor Denton Davidson here with Kendal Adair, the home cook from Olive Branch, Mississippi, who finished in 14th place on MasterChef season 13, representing the South in the United Tastes of America. Kendal, this was the second field challenge of the season, and you're the second man behind the grill to go home. It's a dangerous station. Were you concerned about that heading into this challenge?
The all good meals start with the protein. So I definitely understand the importance of the protein when it comes to the meal. So no, I wasn't intimidated by it. That's kind of out of everything in this whole competition, I felt most at home during the team challenges. Coming from a team oriented competition based, we have a barbecue team, and so I have my wife and my daughter and a couple of my buddies that will come out and give me a hand. So when we got to the team challenge part of it, I really kind of felt at home. You know what I mean? So no, I really wasn't worried about it. I felt like we had a good plan. Unfortunately, I think that we just didn't have the right tools to have success. You know what I mean? We needed more grease. We needed more grease space, and that's just part of it.
You're such an accomplished award-winning barbecue champion. What about your experience was not transferring over to this competition? Like, what made this so difficult for you?
There's a couple big obstacles that I had to overcome. One, we do plating in styrofoam to-go boxes. We do not do five-star Michelin star quality dishes. And so learning that took a transition. I'm not I wouldn't call myself a MasterChef, fan, I guess. I wasn't before, and I've not actually watched an entire season of MasterChef. So I think that probably created its own obstacles. So I wish that, looking back, I wish I would have probably studied the show a little more and learned a little more what Gordon and the other judges expected. You always, as a good competitor, you want to know what your judges are expecting to get, and that way you can blow their mind. And it took me a minute to realize what they wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you walk into this last challenge that you run. It's in Dodger Stadium. What was that like, just to walk into that atmosphere and find out you were going to be cooking on this field? What were you feeling
That
going into that?
I'm going to say that we are probably one of the very few people in the entire world that have cooked in center field of Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
I think that is pretty amazing in itself. Just to be in a stadium with that much history and that much tradition is a wonderful time. I enjoyed it. I definitely wish we could have got to see a little more of the background of the stadium. You know what I mean? We didn't get to do a lot of touring of the stadium. We were kind of busy most of the time we were there. But all in all, just to be there, it was just an awesome time, and very blessed and thankful that I got that opportunity.
Well, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, I think the mistake was not how you cooked, but it was just the chicken, because you're cooking for over 100 kids and they're getting a chicken sandwich or a cheeseburger. And I think that really is what made the difference, in my opinion. Do you
Oh, I
agree?
agree. I do. I wish that we were able to do a burger challenge and do burger versus burger, fry versus fry, and slaw versus slaw. I think that would been a little more apples to apples. And but it is what it is. That was the rules, and we got to play by the rules.
Because it was chaos on the other team. Because you told me offline
Oh,
that you've watched the episode now, so now you saw what was
yeah.
going down on the red team. It was not like all butterflies over there.
Oh, I mean, we were prepared to serve 30 more kids. I mean, we really and truly, I thought we executed our plan. Although our plan should have been shifted a little bit, we executed very well as a team. And I think that, it was just my day to go home.
Well, when you lost, you got called forward with Reagan and Sav. So it's unsurprising because you and Reagan were sort of in charge of the chicken and Sav was the team captain. You're walking forward with those two. What are your thoughts? Are you thinking this is me going home, or did you still
Yeah,
have hope?
yeah. I felt, the little that I do know about the show, I think that you almost your first time in the bottom, you almost kind of get a grace period unless you just totally screw up and they can't do nothing else. You know what I mean? So I think that being in the bottom multiple times, it was my time to go. I felt like if they would have chose either one of the others, I would have probably volunteered to go, because I felt like that's the way it went. You know what I mean? That's the way that the vibe of the day was going. I just kind of had this weird feeling, and I just, like I said, knew that it was my time to go.
Well, tell me what it's like because you're in this exclusive club now of people who've had Gordon screaming at them while they're while they're cooking. What is that like in the heat of the moment to have Gordon just reaming you, just like screaming at you while you're trying to cook?
I have to relate it back to playing high school football and high school coaches. When we get in trouble in sports, it really reminds me of a coach getting on to you, or, teaching you and wanting, he really does care. At the end of the day, I do think that Gordon wants us to succeed and wants us to become better chefs and better people in this experience. And I definitely think that I did. I really and truly am thankful for the opportunity. And I think although it's hell when he's yelling at you, but it's part of TV, it's part of the thing, and it's overall for a good cause. He's trying to teach you something. You know what I mean?
I want to go back to your first audition because I thought it was kind of one of the funnier ones because you get called forward and it's your turn to audition and you're up there working and then you had like a championship ring or something and Gordon dropped it in the stove and then he dropped it in your cream sauce. Like how distracting was that at your first audition of the show? Did that cut the tension or did it just make it even more difficult?
Yeah, it cut the tension. I really and truly, I told my wife and my family, I really didn't even see him drop it. I'm so focused on the cook that I didn't even realize what was going on. It's kind of a blackout moment in those type scenarios. So I really don't remember too much other than what I've seen. And, I definitely think that it just kind of killed the tension, and we were able to open up and be, you know, have some good back and forth. And I definitely am thankful that he dropped it. That's for sure.
Is the ring okay?
Oh yeah, it's good. And the funny thing is, man, is that ring, it actually sits in my trophy, on a trophy up behind me, and I haven't worn that thing or had that thing out of the house in years and years and years. I just figured it'd be a nice showpiece and something to talk about if the judges wanted to talk about it. You know what I mean?
And you cooked a filet mignon for that first audition. How did you decide on that dish? And then what was it like to get 4 yeses from all the judges? Tiffany Derry was the guest judge that week for the South auditions.
It was a wonderful experience, and I'm so thankful that they all gave me 4 yeses. I've cooked hundreds and hundreds of filet mignons, that crawfish cream sauce. So we actually, that recipe developed at our one of our hunting camps. We all go out, and it's a group of us cooks that joined a hunting club together, and so we're all there all winter just cooking and research and development type stuff. And so we started playing with this sauce and this recipe, and just, it's something that I cook for the masses on a normal basis. It's kind of our go-to meal at the duck club. So I really and truly, I've done it so many times that I wasn't worried about it. That's a meal that I can do probably in my blindfold. You know what I mean? And I think that there's just so many flavors that hit when it comes to that dish. I was very confident that they were going to enjoy it. That's for sure.
Did you have anything in your back pocket, like a dish you really wanted to make in this competition that if the challenge would have just lined up perfectly, you were like, oh, I
Yeah,
nailed this. Like what did we not get to see from you?
I think that I've gotten a lot of trophies for my lamb chops. I've got some lamb that is with a pineapple habanero glaze on it. It's phenomenal, phenomenal. One of my favorite things to cook for people, and that's one that I think they really would have enjoyed. I also think that I've got a pretty good duck fried rice, and I really love the Asian themed dishes and that kind of thing. That's probably my favorite cuisine to eat. So I wish that I could have shown a little more range when it comes to that. But the challenges on this season, especially when I was there, they were kind of they were kind of difficult. I mean, I have to say, how do you elevate state fair food without being fried, fried, and fried? I really and truly wish that we would have had a little more range in our challenges, and maybe I should have known the game a little better and picked a few better items. That's for sure.
But the South held it together for quite a while. I mean, the team
Oh
was
man,
strong.
overall, the team, the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. The South, we were by far, in my opinion, better than most all the regions as a whole. When I won the chicken dish, 5 dishes, I would be willing to bet the 5 South dishes were the top 5 dishes of the day
Wow.
and overall, and so that's a real challenge. I turned around and saw Sav's dish, and she had the wings, and it was flawless. I mean, you're gonna get to see, I hope, in the upcoming weeks. The South has a ton of talented cooks and a ton of range, and I definitely think, like I said, overall, we were the strongest division. That's for sure.
What's next for you? Are you continuing to cook? Is that your passion?
Oh yeah.
Tell fans where they can find you and see what you're up to.
So we still continue to compete. We actually, since being home from the show, we've competed in the Memphis and May World Championship. We were fortunate enough to get a perfect score with that filet mignon and that crawfish cream sauce in the beef category, and we also were able to get a 4th place in the shoulder division. So we've probably done 15 events since MasterChef this year already. We'll definitely be doing some State Cook-Off Association events, some Memphis Barbecue Network, some Kansas City Barbecue Society events. So follow us on social media, Smoked and Spiced, and we will, hopefully come to a town near you. We've got probably 2 more months of competing before I'll slow down for hunting season and enjoy some relaxation time for me, and then we'll pick it back up in February and compete as much as we can. I'm hoping to have that sauce bottled and ready to sell here soon, and some rubs to go with that, and just continue to build a brand in the culinary world. Is kind of what we're planning to do. My wife and I, she's a first grade school teacher, so the summertime she can, devote a lot of time to the cooking team and the business. So hopefully we can continue to grow that brand and come out with more products and, be on the shelf at Walmart one day.
Well, we'll look forward to that. Kendal, sad to see you go so early, but congratulations on the top 15. You got to be proud of that. And thanks for sitting down with Gold Derby today.
Well, thank you very much for having us. And I'm definitely very proud and thankful that I had the opportunity to even get on this show. It was definitely out of my wheelhouse, but I think that shows character. And I definitely think today, if I went back, I'd do a better job than I did then. And, who knows? Hopefully I'll be on the big screen again one day.
We hope so. Hope to see you there.
That's
All
right.
right. Thanks, Kendal.
Thank you. Have a good one.